If you can keep everything off social media until he's finished, it'd be appreciated. I'll get out of the way when you're ready, Tim.
Hi, Chris, you all right?
Afternoon, Tim.
Like in the last round, Chris, is this a chance not only to win the game and to get through, but also to create some positive momentum for the season?
That's what we did after going into the Bristol Rovers game and after it. And I thought it was obviously the result against Spurs wasn't the best from our point of view, but still some decent things in that game as well. It wasn't one-sided as people possibly made out it to be. In my opinion, it wasn't a white flag performance that some people made it out to be. I've got some stats in front of me actually that back that up, even though I don't really need them. But it obviously started at Bristol Rovers on the Saturday afternoon, and we took it into the game against Newcastle on Tuesday night and got the result that we were after, and tried to do that against Spurs on Sunday afternoon. But as I said afterwards, a little bit self-inflicted, some key moments, and as well, I've got to say, the quality that we were up against as well. Fabulous finish from arguably the best striker in Europe, and an incredible goal by Ndombele. An incredible performance by him, and capped off by an incredible goal that punishes you very harshly at times in the division that we're in.
You mentioned you've got some stats there. Do you feel as though with the back-to-back wins before that the tide is beginning to turn?
Yeah, there's been positive signs even in the Spurs game in terms of the performance, but we're in it to win, and we believe that, even though some people might think we're absolutely nuts. But we have this belief, and sometimes when you sit down after the game and think, you got very little opportunity or right to win games of football. With who you're up against, and obviously the things that have happened to us this season, and the issues that we've had to face at this football club, or I've had to face. But you still think you can knock the big guy out, and you still think that if he drops his guard, he might land one on his chin, and down he goes. But definitely. There's still belief in the players that we can win games of football at this level. But as I've said before, and even last year, we really have to be close to a perfect performance from our players. And obviously, you do get punished when you do make small mistakes, and invariably. The ball ends up in the back of the net as it did on Sunday afternoon. But we'll keep going. We'll dust ourselves down as we've done this week again, and see if we can get a result and get through to the next round.
With regards to the FA Cup, the way that the draw has opened up, we know your opponents in the next round as well, a potential home tie again. Is this a competition that you can target and look to make some really positive memories for the fans this season?
I think that's completely disrespectful to our opponents, to me, to think anything other than trying to win a tough game against a side that's well coached, well managed by somebody who's had an excellent start to his managerial career that we know quite well. And we've got a huge amount of respect for. So the key is to win games of football and to play well. I've talked to the players today. It's pretty simplistic. People talk nonsense yet again about shapes, systems. I think, and other bits and pieces. Play well, give yourself an opportunity to win the game of football. That's all I'm looking at from my team on Saturday afternoon. I think Jose Mourinho said about it, nonsense of people talking about stuff. It's pretty simplistic. Play well as we did at Bristol Rovers. We most certainly did that individually against Newcastle. Bring your mate to the party alongside you. Get him to play well. he plays well. Oh, another one plays well. Oh, by the way, we've had 11 play well. We've got contribution from the bench. And we give ourselves an opportunity to get a result. And we're going to have to do that on Saturday afternoon. And I'm completely not interested in who we've got, when it is, whether it's home and away. I'm just interested in making sure we prepare the players in the best possible way to get a win and to win a game of football.
You went strong in the last round against Bristol Rovers. Will you do the same thing again?
Do you honestly think, Tim, come on, how long have we known each other? Here. Show it, yeah? Can we show me, T?
But will there be an opportunity potentially for some of the players that haven't been playing?
Well, then you're trying to drag me into telling you the team, aren't you? I'm not going to tell you. End of chat. End of story about team selection and team news. We've just prepared in the same way as we would prepare in the week against Man City and Manchester United. Exactly the same to how we prepared against Plymouth, because we're not good enough just to roll up and turn these over. We've got to do exactly the same things that we do at the level that we're playing in, and we give a respect to Ryan and his team, because they're a good team.
You talked earlier on in this month about bringing in a left-sided central defender. Has the form of Ethan Ampadu influenced your thoughts on that? And also, what's the latest on Jack O'Connell's return? Well,
Jack O'Connell's unfortunately suffered a little bit of a setback, which we knew that would happen. It's not a straightforward situation with Jack O'Connell. It wasn't a straightforward. He's back then and great. You know, we have to be really careful with Jack and manage his load. And he's had a little bit of a setback this week. Regarding transfers, I've got nothing to talk about on the transfer front, Tim.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris. Just in terms of Jack, then, are you still hopeful of getting him back in February, or is it a case of you don't know now and you'll have to assess?
Just keep assessing. Keep assessing, Adam. That was always the situation as soon as he received the injury. So it was never a straightforward situation. There was never him getting back before a time. And it was never him getting back on that exact time. It's an assessment, and as I said, unfortunately, there's been a little bit of a setback. But hopefully, for the boy, more importantly, than me or the football club, more importantly for Jack, he comes through it. But it was never ever straightforward, and it's obviously panned out to be that way.
Ben Osborne and Ollie McBurney, are they available this weekend?
No, and they're not available this weekend. They're still not ready. They've not gone through the clearance sessions that we do for them to be able to join the group. So no, they won't be available.
Is anybody else back that wasn't? I know you had 7 players out last weekend.
Jack Rodwell has trained this week, so hopefully that he'll be involved at the weekend. So Jack's back, but nobody else. No, nobody else.
Could the FA Cup really be a good focal point for you this season? Clearly, obviously, you've got this tie at the weekend. Not looking beyond that, as you've talked about already, but you've already seen the benefits that came from the Bristol Rovers victory.
There's a benefit to winning every game of football. Even last year when we got through to the quarterfinals, and I believe we should have got through to the semi-finals. That was a performance good enough to win, and I'm sure when the original tie was scheduled to play at Bramall Lane on a Sunday afternoon in March, it would have been a big advantage. Unfortunately, we didn't. But I even before that, I see no downside to winning a game of football, Adam. No downside at all. Whether it's an 8 versus 8 out there, whether it's a pre-season friendly at Stocksbridge, whether it's a Carabao Cup, League Cup tie, FA Cup tie, or Premier League game, absolutely no downside to winning a game of football.
Have you managed to watch a lot of Plymouth and seen what they're on? Obviously, coming to the game on good form themselves.
Absolutely, we've done exactly the same process and coverage and attention to detail regarding Plymouth that we did the week before against Spurs, and only right as well. Only right. We're not good enough just to roll up and dismiss anybody. And that would never be the case for myself as a manager, because unlike some managers, I respect all the managers that are in the game. I don't like a few of them, and I like a few more, but I respect every manager in the game. And I've got a huge amount of respect for Ryan and what he's achieved so far as a younger manager than myself. A couple of promotions, incredible enthusiasm for the game, and he plays the game in a manner that I admire, and the preparation is exactly the same, no change.
He's made a promising start to his managerial career, hasn't he, Ryan? And doing it the hard way, I imagine that's something that you'll know, obviously, from your experience in getting to where you are now.
Yeah, it's not easy now, though, Ads.
No, I appreciate that.
It doesn't get any easier, but whatever pathway people go into, I've got respect. I've said it all along. There's always different ways to come into this game. Sometimes, look back and maybe scratch my head for the reasons why I did at moments like this, on and off the pitch. But this is the game we love, and he's got an enormous, as I said, enormous enthusiasm for the game, and it's tough whatever level that you're at. But Ryan is had a nomadic and successful career. The amount of clubs that he played for, and he's a bright manager, and no doubt there's more success ahead of him in his career.
Did you enjoy the sort of underdog role when you were with teams in the lower leagues coming into situations like this weekend?
I think we're underdogs for Saturday, aren't we? So nothing changes here, does it? This is it's words, isn't it? It's just words. Underdogs, favourites or whatever. They're just words. But as I said, whatever it is, whether we're going into somebody's backyard against, incredibly powerful world-class players, you still think that you've got that little left-right combination, like I said before, that catches them off guard, and you might land one on the chin and knock somebody out. But they're just words. So there's belief. There'll be belief from us that to get the job done on Saturday afternoon, and there'll be understandable belief from Plymouth and their team and their manager that they can win a game of football, and that goes with the territory and understanding. But it's as I said, however people dress it up, words. We want to get the job done, and we want to get through and win a game of football.
Final couple from me. We just spoke with Jayden Bogle. Comes across a very confident young man. How impressed have you been now that he's had his chance in the first team? Yeah,
I mean, you look, as I said before, you look at these young players, and it's an enormous step up for them. Jayden and Max Lower. Look back at Max's games that he had to play in, he played in, and the players that he's up against. There's no hiding place. It's it's tough opposition that they're playing against, and they have to survive. Both of the young players were brought in to add competition and push. Jayden's, is somebody that I've known about for a long time, and Max has had an opportunity, and Ender's back in now, and Jayden had an opportunity when the door opened for him and took it, and now his task is to keep an excellent player out of the team. But it's tough competition, and a tough learning curve for him. from every aspect of the game. But yeah, he's doing fine. As I said, it's for me, 2 boys that were brought in and to add to the group, and have played and will be good players.
Cheers. Thanks, Chris.
Cheers, Adam.
Pair.
Hey, pair.
There we are. Sorry. Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Good.
So I just wanted to ask you a couple on Sunday.
Yeah.
How is the progress with his injury, and when do you expect him back?
Yeah, he's got a big scar down his leg, which I've just seen again when it went in to see him. But you know, he's a popular boy. He's got a smile on his face. He's a bright boy, and he's looking to return. But there's no rush with him. I think that it was sort of a 12 to 16 week situation. So he's no near his comeback date, but he's working away with the medical department and the strength and conditioning guys. But he's got a smile on his face, which is brilliant. And yeah, huge players, as we said. Huge players. Jack O'Connell for us has been a huge player, huge miss, and obviously Xander has been as well, because arguably our best player since lockdown, and finding his feet in the Premier League, and I should imagine that he's working away, and delighted to get him back as soon as.
And I'm guessing you talk to him quite often, and I'm just wondering, because he's a young player, and with the injury, having to isolate due to the coronavirus, can't see his family and so on, and not be able to play football. How is he coping in just everyday life?
Yeah, he has the support of everybody here, and obviously the communication lines back to home in Norway, I should imagine, are frequent. But he's a positive boy. He's got a brilliant attitude. Love him to bits. Regardless of what happened, would love him to stay here at the football club. He gets on with it, but really challenging for him, as you've said, really challenging. Not just to make that move abroad from a young player. Obviously, he's lived abroad previously in Belgium, but to make the jump over to England, and to be, he signed January, so February, March straight away, into lockdown, and incredibly challenging for him. But he's got the personality to deal with it, and there's some really good people in the staff and players that will help him and keep him going.
Brilliant, Chris. Best of luck tomorrow.
Cheers, Per. Take care, mate.
Dave Anderson.
Hi, Chris. You okay?
Not bad, Dave.
Chris, just on Jack Rodwell there, where is he in terms of his sort of fitness? Can he do 90 minutes, or what state is he really? Like you said, you want to involve him tomorrow.
Well, it's difficult because, it's a struggle for him to play 23s, struggle to play behind closed doors games against other teams. So that, players that would need a game have not had games. That's, I think, it's not really been talked about a lot, that, we sent the team over to Manchester United. We played local teams last year behind closed doors for them to get minutes into the system. And obviously Jack has as many other players that have not played any football. It's been a struggle, but we condition them well enough. It's obviously been difficult for Jack. Had a freakish sort of injury, Dave, where he fell and damaged. But he's back with us, and he'll be involved. He'll be involved against Plymouth on Saturday.
Yeah. With these situations, is it hard for you to assess? Because obviously his contract's up in the summer, Chris. You gave him one last year, but is it hard for you to assess if you want to give him another one for next season when, as you see, you can't really see him playing that often?
Yeah, we know what he's about. We know his back catalogue and where he's played and what he's achieved. So that was the reasons that we brought him in. But still, we've still got 20 odd games to go, 19 games to go, and hopefully a couple more in the cup, which would be good. And we're trying to target to win games of football. So not really thought about his future. If I'm honest, Dave. Just thought about what's in front of me immediately, which is trying to get that next win.
Yeah. Chris, thanks. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, Dave. Take care, mate. Thanks.
Apologies, all that should have been in the embargo section from 10:30 tonight.